All right. So in this segment, basically just taking one question, which is a good quality question on binomial expansion. So the question is 1 minus x over 2 to the power 14 on 1 minus 2x to the power 4 can be written as a plus 1 plus ax plus bx square. Now, such questions generally are asked in like additional math, IB math, HL, and SL, all three courses. So, what should be the strategy to solve these questions? Now, before going to any of the expansions as big as 14, don't even think about Pascal's triangle. So, what is the prerequisite for this is to understand this formula. So, when we say that expansion of a plus b to the power n in general, uh, the expansion formula is tr plus 1th term is ncr a to the power n minus r n times b to the power r. Now, if I plug r as 0, I get my first term. So first term. If I put r as a 1, I get the second term, and so on. So here I'm going to treat these two as separate brackets. Now, since you can see the answer, they just want the coefficients till x square. So there is no need to expand both the brackets beyond x square. So what we do is we're just going to first take the first three terms of this bracket. 1 negative x over 7 to the power 14. So I'm going to take the first term as, let's say, r equals to 0. I'm going to find the second term by plugging r as 1 and r as 2. So when I take r as 0, I get my first term as t1 equals to 14c0, 1 to the power 14, 1 to the power 14 here, into negative x over 7 to the power 14. Sorry, this is negative x to the power 0 when you look at the formula, because r is 0, I'm plugging, and n minus r will be 14 minus 0, which is 14. So that's, this one simplifies to, if I say 14c0 is 1. So because nc0 is 1 and ncn is always 1. So just this is a shortcut for understanding some of these kind of complicated questions. Now, 1 to the power any power is 1 itself, and negative x over 7 to the power 0 is 1. So my first term is actually 1 in this expansion. Now coming to the second term, when I take second term, my second term is T2, which is 14C1 times 1 to the power 13, because that's your NC, N minus R. So 14 minus 1, that's 13, and times minus x over 7 to the power 1. So I'm just using this straightforward formula. N, I'm plugging 14, and R is 1. So 14C1, that's here. And 1 to the power 14 minus 1, that's 13, and negative x over 7 to the power 1. So when you simplify this, now 14C1 is 1, I mean 14. So this is 14 times 1 to the power 13 is 1, and times negative x over 7. So when I pick up, my second term is actually negative 2x. Now, when I plug T3, now T3 is going to be 14C2 times 1 to the power 12 and negative x over 7 to the power 2. So this simplifies to 14C2, and 1 to the power 12 is 1, and this times x squared over 49. So be careful about the signs that you take. So you can clearly see it's alternate plus, minus, plus. It's automatically, it's coming. Now just for ease of the count calculations, you can evaluate what's 14C2. Now 14C2 is, if you remember the formula of NCR, it's n factorial over n minus r factorial times r factorial. So this is going to be 14C2 is 14 factorial over 12 factorial times 2 factorial. Now this can be written as 14 times 13 times 12 factorial over 12 factorial times 2 into 1. So 12 factorial get cancelled. 2 goes with 7. So you get 13 times 7. So that's your 91 over 49 x squared. So this is the coefficient of this. And if you simplify this, it's going to be 13 over 7 x squared. So now actually when I expand this bracket, I don't need to go beyond x square term. So I get the first three terms of 1 minus x over 7 whole to the power 14 um, as 1 negative 2x plus 13 over 7 x squared, and put the dots. Make sure do not forget this because it has got in total 15 terms. So if you just forget to do this, you get 0 marks for not writing this part. So next step is to expand 1 minus 2x to the power 4. So when I say 1 minus 2x to the power 4, it is easy. You can use Pascal's triangle. I'm just going to use Pascal's triangle. So it'll be 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. So I know that. And 1 to the power 4, 1 to the power 3, 1 to the power 2. That's I'm not going to write. And then I'm going to put negative 2x as b. So negative 2x to the power 1. Actually, it starts with negative 2x to the power 0, 1, and then negative 2x to the power 2. So what we get is we get 1 negative 4x and 1 negative 8x plus 4 times 6, which is 24 x squared. So we have got these three terms of both the brackets. Now what will be really interesting is how do we go beyond this now? So how do I find out which terms are giving me basically the a constant term, which is giving me x coefficient, which is giving me the x square term. So I'm going to just write down both the brackets next to each other. So I'm just going to write down 1 negative 2x plus 13 over 7 x squared, and 1 negative 8x plus 24 x squared here. Now we have to basically multiply out these two brackets. Uh, now what I can see is basically I get the constant term when I multiply 1 with 1. Okay, so 1 with 1 is going to give me 1 itself. So that's the only constant term that I'm going to get. Okay, so that's one number. Then after that we get is the term x. So when do we get the term x? So when I multiply 1 with negative 8x and negative 2x with 1. So you can clearly see that you don't need to multiply the entire bracket out, 9 terms you don't need to do, but just pick up the right combination of terms. So 1 times negative 8x is plus negative 2x times 1. So negative 2x times 1. So that's going to be negative 8x, negative 2x, that's it, negative 10x. So you can clearly see that I already got the value of a, which is going to be negative 10. Now, when you're finding the value of b, you just got to do one thing is you have to see which combination is giving you x squared coefficient. So if you look at this, now my x squared coefficients are actually obtained by when I multiply 1 with 24, 1 I multiply 24, when I multiply negative 2x with negative 8x, and I multiply this with 1. So actually I've got the three terms here. So 1 times 24 x squared. Then you have got negative 2x times negative 8x, which is plus 16x squared. And then you have got 13 over 7x squared times 1. So plus 13 over 7x squared. So after this, you're just going to add up these terms. So 24 plus 16 plus 13 over 7. So you take LCM of these terms, and that's your stated with the value of b. So that's how you do these questions. I try to just not oversimplify entire terms, because there'll be 15 terms in this expansion and there'll be 5 terms. So I just write smartly the first few terms. That's first 3 terms of this, and I wrote first 3 terms of this. And then I manipulated the result according to what I needed. So I hope this is clear, and there are next few questions for practice.